Good morning, everybody. Well, this trip is going to be a little bit different and it's going to be very exciting. So last night, my good friend Bryce and we took off from our hometown and we drove through Yellowstone National Park, and we are now currently over on West Yellowstone side. We came in late and we just found a roadside camp to call it good. We were having a little bit of issues with finding a place to camp because we have the trailers with us. And why do we have trailers? That's a very good question. So come join us for this little adventure that Bryce and I are taking with our boys. I've got my youngest, he's got his kiddo, and we are on a mission to go rescue some old trucks that are going to potentially turn into an awesome project. So stay tuned. So, how did this all start? Well, I was surfing around on Marketplace like anybody does, right? We all do that. Oh, excuse me. It's an early morning. Sun's just coming up. And we are doing a speed breakdown and get on the road. I mean, I'm going this way this morning instead of coffee. So, surfing around on Marketplace like we all do, right? That's a little bit better. And I come across this post. And I've been looking and looking and looking and looking. I've been looking for a very long time for this particular truck. And I came across a post. And there's two of them for sale over in Idaho. And I know Bryce has been wanting this particular truck as well. And so I said, hey, there's a person selling two of these. I need this one for a project. You don't even have one, so you could have this one. What do you think? And if he could jump through the phone and hug me for finding one that he's been searching for forever, I think he would have. So we made the arrangements. I was talking with the couple, super nice couple that own these two trucks. And we made arrangements, and here we are, Labor Day weekend, and we're heading over to go pick them up. So I'm not going to tell you what they are. I'm just going to keep you, in suspense until we get there to start loading them up.
It was time for Bryce and I to hit the road. With 135 miles to our destination, we wanted to get an early start, so then that way we had plenty of time of getting the vehicles loaded up onto the trailers and getting into camp later today before dark. Since we decided to have such an early start this morning and skipping breakfast, Bryce and I and the boys were starting to get hungry, and we saw this awesome little mom and pop diner that was set up like an old fashioned A&W, and we just had to check out the food. And we are so glad that we stopped because the food was amazing. If you ever find yourself traveling through Ashton, Idaho, I highly recommend stopping here. And when I'm overlanding, I look for places like this because these small mom and pop shops have some of the best food that I've ever had.
Whew. Well, that was some delicious food. Stopped at the Frost Top Root Beer Float Diner. Oh, that was great. It was almost like an old-fashioned A&W type of atmosphere, but it was the mom and pop version, which is actually what I think is the best. Well, stomachs are full, and we are now back on the road heading south. First place we got to stop is going to be Idaho Falls. Bryce accidentally forgot one of the more important things that we need for the trailers, and that is ratchet straps, tie-down straps. So we got to stop, get some straps so we can tie everything down, make sure the trucks are secured, and then we'll continue on into Blackfoot. But until then, I think I'll just slowly wait for the food coma to kick in, and we'll just put some miles down.
A place just south of Idaho Falls is on my radar to come back and explore one day, because this unique area has fields of lava flows covering the ground, creating a unique lunar atmosphere. It was so cool to drive by, just a brief glimpse of Hell's Half Acres, and I am definitely going to be coming back to explore this area in the future.
The firefighters are doing donation here locally, so I like to help out when I can. Here, hold your hand out the window for them. Get the extension.
Hey.
Hello, sir. Yell.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Firefighter.
Firefighter.
Wave your hand.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Oops. I do have to say, I will be very excited to get these trucks.
I just think lowriders are a joke. Kind of funny looking, but they're a joke.
And I am excited to get out of town. We have a beautiful place mapped out that we're going to crash tonight. And I am very excited to get out and get away. Hopefully, it's not too crowded, being a holiday weekend. So, oh, here we go. Taking a left. Woohoo! This is exciting. All right. We have made it to our destination. So what is Bryce and I gonna get? First gen Toyota trucks. You excited, bud?
I'm very excited. This is exciting. This is awesome.
You've been hunting for one of these for a long time.
I have for a very long time. It's finally happening, so.
Right?
This is exciting.
So, Bryce, go stand by your new truck.
I don't know if I can make it look good.
So this is Bryce's truck. This is a 1982. It was somebody's baby at one point in time. There's a lot of custom work that was done, and we'll show you guys more on these trucks later. Right now we're just basically focusing on getting the trucks loaded onto the trailers, taking inventory of everything that we have, and then after that we're going to get it over to the car wash. We're going to wash these things off because we have to travel back through the national park, and we don't want to be flagged down and not let through the park. So we'll go over the trucks more in detail when we get them loaded onto the trailers and we're back at camp. So, but Bryce is 82. This thing's going to be awesome. We have almost all the parts for this truck.
Yeah.
But I love the old school wheels. Those are so awesome. What size tires are those? Are those 33s? Are they rocking on 33s?
That's
Good question.
very good question.
Yeah.
Very good question.
Brush off. Look at that.
33 by 12, 50 R15.
Oh, you're rocking on 33s, buddy. Woo!
Insane.
All right, and for my truck, mine is 1979 long bed. Both these trucks are long beds, but this is the truck that I'm getting. It looks rougher than that one, because it definitely is, but the reason why I am here to get this truck is because, remember Smokey? Remember how we took the trucks out on a two-wheel drive adventure and had an absolute blast rocking and bouncing around in those trucks? Well, I want to do more with that truck. So this truck is going to be the donor for Smokey. I'm going to put the body on this chassis and the diesel engine. It's all going to go on this chassis. So pretty much this cab is all spare parts. But that's why I picked up this truck. It's for good old Smokey. 79 4x4 long bed. Rocking some Warren hubs. She's a bit roached on the inside. Still some good usable parts. It's got my steering wheel for Smokey to turn it into to make it a true four-wheel drive truck. Heck yeah. Good frame. This is all surface rust. Good frame. It's gonna rock. This is gonna be awesome. I've got a good center section. I don't need these. I just need this part because this is four-wheel drive only. So, dude, I just noticed, man, your truck's rocking the dual shock setup.
Yeah.
That's awesome. This is awesome. This was somebody's, like,
Oh yeah, they played it. They built it up.
it was like their baby monster kind of show truck thing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So Bryce's idea with this truck is he's going to pretty much back to original, right?
Mostly, yeah.
Mostly?
A daily original.
Okay.
Original daily.
Yeah. And then this is just going to be a donor truck for good old Smokey. Now, we do get a bonus, okay? This was the original cab for Bryce's truck, but the truck got rolled. So we are getting this cab included, which is awesome. So, yeah, we got lots of goodies. Time to start airing up some tires and getting it loaded up and get these bad boys back home. So what are we at, bud?
15 psi.
All right, yeah, let's take it up 5 more PSI, okay?
Okay.
Okay. That'll make it a little bit easier to turn the wheels for loading it up on the trailer. I am looking forward to camp, a cold drink, and sitting in the river. Oh, what do you think, Bryce? Huh? What do you think, bud?
It's been a long day.
Has been a long day. But you know what's a really sexy image right now?
That right there. Oh my gosh.
First gen, first gen, first gen, first gen. Money. Well, we just washed him off. I could have probably spent an hour in the car wash just blasting out the inside of that cab. But I got the majority of the moss and the majority of the leaves and sticks. Bryce, you look like you did the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think the trucks are good. Heck, my truck, I had it idling with the AC on to try to just keep it cooler for when we need to jump in it. And the truck started overheating on me. It's just so damn hot right now.
The truck and everybody else.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Man. Like you said, that cold drink just sounds lovely. The river.
It does. All right, so our plan is to camp on the Blackfoot River. So I'm gonna pull up Gaia because I've already got it mapped out. And I think we're gonna hit the road and get out of here, get up into the river, do some camping.
Let's do it.
Yeah? Sound good?
It.
All right. Perfect.
Yeah. River. Yeah.
It was so nice being back in the trucks with the AC on because it was 100 degrees out, roasting down on our backs, getting these two trucks loaded up. So we are very much looking forward to getting into camp.
Why, hello, madame. Do you have any Grey Poupon? No? Alrighty. Ta-ta!
Now, what fun would it be if we just jumped right back onto the highway and streamlined back home? Nah, not on this adventure. I came up with a really cool route that's going to take us from Blackfoot, Idaho, due east, back over into Wyoming. And then we'll travel north into the park and then continue back home. And our objective is, for today, to get into camp, is we have to travel over the Pocatello mountain range, drop down into Paradise Valley, where the Blackfoot River lies. And that is where we're going to land camp for tonight.
Well, this road, it's a nice road. It's a scenic road, but it's a very washboard, rough road. We just had to stop. Probably you can see me bouncing around. We just had to stop because my ramps came loose on my trailer, and every time I go down a rough road, those darn things come loose on me. So we're trying a different method with the strap to hold the ramps down, but the truck's staying on perfect. It's riding like a cushion, which is great. And other than that, everything's going great. It's dusty. Poor Bryce is getting hammered with dust right now. Oh, but I'm out in a new location, exploring. This is gonna be awesome. I'm so excited to get to camp and to talk more about the two trucks. Well, the Eagle has landed. Man, what a beautiful drive coming in here. Road was a little rough, but not too rough. The trailers did good, not too bad. Well, let me show you camp, okay? There's me all set up. Truck and trailer rode pretty good. No major issues. Except for my ramps did come loose, but we got it strapped down a different way this time, and it looks like everything's doing good. Everything is just dust covered. And Bryce, he's got the tent set up. Oh yeah. And Mini Monster is riding good. So Bryce names all of his trucks, and he hasn't picked one out yet for this truck, but I think I'm gonna name it for him. I'm gonna name it Mini Monster. Hey Bryce, I have officially named your truck Mini Monster.
Mini Monster?
Yeah. I mean, you could change it if you want, but it kind of reminds me of like the Mini Monsters, you know, like the 80s show trucks where they built, I mean, this is straight up what it is.
Oh, yeah.
This is a 80s build to the T of the dual shocks front and rear and these style rims and, you know, the visor and just the graphics. I mean, on the doors there was a bunch of these graphics down the side and stuff, and somebody did something like outlaw or something right there, but it's got the bushwhacker fender flares on it, and yeah, totally 80s build. I mean, I still get a kick out of that. Oh, but yeah, everything rode good for him, no issues. And here's the river. How gorgeous is that? Isn't that gorgeous? Colson's clearing the fire pit for us so we can sit around it. And I know I'm gonna go for a dip in the river. I can't remember if I brought my towel or not, but I don't really care. Because I'm hot and I need it. But yeah, this is going to be awesome. I'm very much looking forward to this. So, beautiful camp spot. There was several others, down the road that we could have picked that were on this river as well, but I think this is going to be perfect for us. Easy access with the truck and trailers. Yeah. And check out the rocks. How cool is that? To me, that's just so awesome. And these trucks have not been on the road for 25 years. 25 years. And here we are taking them on an off-road voyage. Yes, they're being trailered, but still, they're going on an off-road adventure. Once again, they're gonna make their way home. We're gonna give them a second life, and it's gonna be awesome. Well, I think I'm gonna get some grub, I think, going. Definitely a cold snack, a drink. And just kind of unwind for a few seconds, and then, you know what? We'll talk about the trucks, okay? This is gonna be epic. All right, so let's talk about the 2 trucks that we rescued today. I'm gonna start with mine. So what we've got is a 1979 4-wheel drive Toyota pickup, aka first gen. Now they call it first gen because it's the first generation for the 4-wheel drive. If you go off of the 2-wheel drive body style, this is actually classified as a 4th gen. So, seems like there's not a whole lot here, but when I start digging deeper into this truck, the things that I found are awesome because I totally did not expect it. So let me go through and share with you guys all the cool things that I found. So, this is going to be the donor truck for Smokey. Smokey is a 1981 Toyota pickup with the 2.2 diesel. It's a factory diesel truck. I'm the second owner. It was bought brand new in my hometown, and I love the truck, but I want to go 4-wheel drive. I've always wanted one of these trucks in a 4-wheel drive diesel version. And if I had the money, I would actually import one of these from Australia where you can get it in a diesel 4-door version. 4-door version. How cool would that be? All right. So, let me share all the cool little details that I found on this truck. So, body, meh. What I really was going for was, I need the factory emblems. These ones are a little rough. I got some chrome peelage right there, but I wanted the emblems for Smokey. Okay, I was hoping to get a good set of fenders, but we've got some carnage right here, and then on the other side we've got a rust hole down here, so I'm gonna have to get new fenders. Okay, the truck, if I decide to keep this type of steering, this is a power steering box, so the truck is already set up for power steering. Now let's dive in up here. Woo, I'm gonna have to zip tie a few things up. Bear with me, guys. I gotta get the hood prop here. All right. Okay, so I don't know what this engine is because I didn't even run the numbers, but I don't even care. This is probably a junk engine anyways. My guess being a 79, it was very common for 79 and 80 to come with the 20R engine. And actually looking at that style carburetor, that is most likely a 20R. I remember all the 20Rs having that carburetor. So, what is unique about, wow, that stuff, just, you stay right there. What is very unique about this truck that I'm extremely excited about, again, is it's a factory power steering unit, which is down there, which I got to zip tie this stuff up. So if I decide to keep this steering, I've got power steering. Yay! Smokey currently right now does not have any power steering. So that'll be wonderful to swap over onto Smokey. Also, this is a biggie. This, oh, I'm so excited. I've only had one truck in the past that had this, and this truck is set up with factory AC. You know how I can tell? Let me share with you. All right, there's no AC pump. What you're seeing right there, that is a smog pump. But you see these lines right here? Those are AC lines. Then you start looking over here, you've got an AC condenser. Or, no, this is the dehumidifier. Then you've got the condenser screen, or the radiator right here, the condenser. It's a factory AC. That is awesome, because I really wanted to put a factory AC in Smokey. And I'll share why that was going to be a very critical thing. Also, another bonus for me is I needed a four-wheel drive front grille for Smokey. Smokey has its own style because it's a two-wheel drive, and I want Smokey to look like it's almost an original four-wheel drive. So having this front grille is wonderful. I'm good. Oh, did I just do that driving down here? Maybe. my new tires throw a buttload of rocks. So that's wonderful. I've got a four-wheel drive bumper or grille. I have a four-wheel drive bumper. If I decide to keep the bumper's actually, now that I look at it, it's almost perfect. Score! And it's metal end, not plastic. Score. Perfect. Okay, another awesome thing about this chassis here is the leaf springs. This is a lift kit. This is a 3-inch lift kit on this truck. Now, we did score another front axle. It's a it's an 80 to 83 axle that we scored, because I know 79, if I know some people are going to correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe 79 was the only year that they did not have a lower gusset on the tube on this side. It could have been 79 and 80, but the other axle that we got with the deal, it's a short gusset axle. I know 84 and 85, they went all the way out to the knuckle, but this is okay because I can actually weld one on there if I wanted to. But I've got lifted front leaf springs. Score. That's awesome. Another thing that is maybe a score for this deal is this is worn hubs. I actually don't think that a worn hub is as strong as the ASIN hub, and I might actually swap out for a set of I can't say it. ASIN hubs instead, because I feel like they're stronger than the worn hubs. So that in the front is what's super nice for everything that I need for Smokey. As far as Interior wise, she's a little rough. She's a little bad. Let's see here. There's a few pieces that I saw that I could potentially use. Oh, the four-wheel drive steering wheel. This is something that I wanted to swap out with Smokey. This one's a little rough. It's a little cracked, but I might get that nice, you know, you wrap like leather around it, and then you can take that plastic cord and you wrap it around. I just need a center cap for this steering wheel, but I think this steering wheel will clean up, and that's another four-wheel drive thing that I'm really excited about to be able to put on Smokey. This seat, it's roached, but it will give me an opportunity to get it reupholstered, and then that way I can just swap it directly over to Smokey when I'm ready. And this truck is made, oh, let's see if it'll zoom in. Come on, you can do it. So it's the 5th month of 79, which is pretty awesome. Now, another super big benefit for this truck is it's a long bed chassis, and the chassis is actually in really good shape. It's got a lot of surface rust, but it's not cancering out. As far as the rear axle, I may use it, but I may actually go to a IFS rear axle, so from 86 to 95, because they're a little bit wider. They're 3 inches wider than this overall, and also the tubes are much thicker going from the center of the diff out, so I feel like they can handle a payload a whole lot better. The leaf springs, they do have an add-a-leaf added to them, but I'm not even going to worry about that because I'm actually planning on putting completely different leaf springs in the back to handle the payload. So this cab right here is actually the cab that was on Bryce's truck. Bryce's truck ended up hitting some ice and it rolled over. So we offered to take it because honestly, the dash is in somewhat decent shape, and there's a lot of good usable parts that we can use off of this cab. Unfortunately, the floors are rotted out. Bryce said he may incorporate the classic sunroof back into it, but pretty much other than the dash and the sunroof, the rest of the cab is going to be junked. So yeah, that's my wonderful 1979 Toyota pickup that I am very excited about. Oh, and guess what? I just noticed this side has a factory hub, that side has a worn hub. So I got a spare right there. But man, it's such a, even though the inside of this truck is roached, I still think that this truck is beautiful looking. I just have such a deep love for these trucks, and I'm very excited to get Smokey, the body of Smokey and the diesel and all that stuff swapped over onto this chassis. So there you go. That's my 1979 Toyota truck that I'm very excited to do an awesome build with. So let's head on over to Bryce's truck and talk about Bryce's truck, because his is very unique. All right, let's take a look at Bryce's truck. His is very unique, and honestly, we had no clue that Bryce's truck was this way until we actually saw it in person and started loading it up. So, what's so unique about Bryce's truck? Well, his is a 1982 Toyota pickup, but if you just look at it from afar, it just kind of looks like a standard four-wheel drive truck, right? Yeah, no. This thing was totally built in the 80s fashion of like a show truck, or like what you would do to have an awesome 4x4 build. And we're gonna walk you through and show you all the little details about this truck and why we say that.
It was straight up a clean build for whatever anybody does with it. I mean, look at this, right? He's got double shocks on this. He's got a lift on it.
Yeah.
It looks good. He put, at the time, a higher dollar caliper, brake caliper on there.
Yeah, it's red. So yeah, these are the little details that, so back in the day, that was a common thing. Like the dual shocks, that was like, I have money.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so his truck, it's got a 3-inch lift on it. It's got the dual shocks that they had it on all four. We had enough shocks that there was on all four corners.
All four corners.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I still have them in the back of the truck.
Right.
So, and I've got a heap load of parts in the back of this truck.
Right.
I mean, it's, he went through and he had that transmission transfer case completely rebuilt, sat in the shed for a very long time, never actually got to it. The motor, I believe he said the motor still turned over and it ran.
Yeah.
So,
but
it's still something that we'll go through and make sure it works.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
We've got extra door panels. We got an extra hood.
So many parts.
Yeah.
Doors, hood, fenders, a rear bumper, like everything to put this truck back together. Because the guy rolled it. So he was going down the freeway, hit a patch of ice, went off, rolled it, and that's what that cab is over there. Then he found this cab, and then he was going to start putting all of the stuff that was in that truck back onto this one. So the little details that make this like the 80s off-roader build: we've got dual shocks, we've got 3-inch lift, we've got these custom gosh, I can't remember the name of these rims, but they were a hot tamale back in the day.
They were a hot item for sure.
So
they kind of set your truck off.
Yeah.
As far as I understand, yeah.
So it doesn't look like it, but these are actually a 33-inch tire, which is pretty big for this truck. And also, this truck's got a 2-inch body lift all the way around. So it's almost, you can fit 35s.
I would say yes.
Almost.
Yes.
So
not that I would actually do a 35, because I feel like it's a little bit too much of a lift. And here's why. Come here, I'll show you.
Yeah. So another thing, why we say this is a...
that's why I will not do that big of a tire on there.
So another reason why we think that this was like a hopped up truck for its day is it has a 21 RU engine. Now these trucks only came with a 20R and a 22R. The 21R, now correct me if I'm wrong, and I know you guys can comment down below, but this was Toyota's attempt to make a hotter motor for like the Toyota Corollas.
I believe so.
And what they did is they took a 22R block and put a 20R head on it. Or it's vice versa. It's a 22R and a 20. It's one of those two. It's a combination of a 20 and a 22R engine. And that's why they call it the 21R.
Right.
So the fact that somebody swapped in a 21RU engine out of a Toyota Corolla to get more ponies. How about we just call it more squirrels?
Let's do that. Yeah. See, because like right up here it shows that should have had a 22R.
Yep. Yeah.
But that's for the cab that they swapped it out on. So
let's run over to the other cab and see if that tag's there and see what it says.
See what it says.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, sneaking through. Now I'm gonna be surprised as heck if this tag actually says that it came with a 21R. Okay. So,
Let's see. Right up there in the top left corner.
yeah, up here. I think
It
it's,
says 20 something. 2 something.
maybe it's 20, yeah, 22R. I think it's 22 right there. Here, I'll do the camera because the camera sometimes shows a little bit better. So,
Yeah.
I think, yeah, it's 22. I can see it if I look just right. There's faint 22.
Okay. 22R.
So, yep.
All right.
So, on originally a 22R truck.
So to be honest with everybody, I mean, this is just something that I've always wanted. I've always been trying, been looking everywhere for this first gen pickup. Just like everybody else out there, you can't find them. They're hard to find. So when we came across this deal, I thought, well, can't pass this deal up. So,
No.
and I was thinking it was just gonna be a regular
Truck.
truck,
Yeah.
right off the block, you know.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, what the heck? That'd be perfect.
Right.
But as much rough condition as this thing is in, I feel like I got a little bit of a honey here.
Right. And so it's going to be a little bit harder to show you guys, but another thing that makes this a show truck is look at the custom dash pad. They're not that thick factory. That's a custom pad that somebody did. Okay. The seat was reupholstered in a different configuration. This is not a factory color combo. And also look at the door panels. You got waves. And then you got your aftermarket speakers, because these only had speakers up in the dash. They did not have any door. Well, no, I take that back. They did have door speakers, but they were mounted, I believe, right here back in the day.
I thought they were always mounted up on the dash.
My buddy had my friend's dad had one, and I remember now that they actually were up here.
Excellent.
Yeah, but this is not factory down here.
No.
So this was a custom truck. This was somebody's show truck, baby truck. This was
Put some time and effort into this thing.
Yeah.
And we didn't realize it over the photos, or you know, talking to her, the gal, when we were talking about picking it up. But once we finally got here and we started looking at it, and after we started working on it to get it loaded, we started noticing all these little extras. And
yeah,
I tell you what, above and beyond everything else, I, for one, am very excited to start working on this. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm not going to worry too much about the body right now. What I want to do is I want to try and get all these parts back together and get it as a running, functioning truck.
Yeah.
And then start working on the body.
Right.
Yeah.
That'll be awesome. And when we're talking about spare parts, right? So we didn't show you guys this. That's all spare parts that are for this truck. I mean, we're even talking like an extra transfer case. We got so much extra parts with this thing. It's insane on how many extra parts we've got. So, Bryce, tell me, bud, what's your plans? Like, what I know what I'm doing with my truck. Okay, it's all with Smokey.
Right.
So what about you? What's your plans?
So my overall plans is, I mean, I want to keep this thing as beautiful as it came off the showroom floor.
Okay.
I would love to just, granted, I'm not going to be able to, well, I could take it right back to stock, but looking at what it was before, or what it is now, I think I might just leave it the way it is.
So
just update it.
So you, let me, just so I'm clarifying in my head and for the viewers, you want to totally keep it in the retro 80s build style.
100%.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
100%. So I was talking to the owner's wife about this, and she was telling me that, you know, like John was saying, this was his baby, you know, and it rolled over, and he never had the chance to completely put it back together. I would like to be that person to be able to bring this little honey back to its original glory when he had it. That would be my goal. So, I think this thing is going to be rolling down the road looking like this, but clean.
Totally 1980s build fashion.
Yeah. I think it's going to look good.
Dude.
You betcha.
Dude.
You betcha.
Epic. That's going to be so awesome.
I'm over the top just excited
Yeah.
about having this first gen. This is just, it sings to me in ways. It's
Right.
just beautiful. So,
You know, for those Toyota lovers out there, once you get one of these trucks, the day you sell it, you'll regret it. You'll want another one. And then you get another one, and if you sell it, you're going to regret it again. So if you ever get yourself a first-gen Toyota truck and you fall in love with it, never get rid of it.
yeah, that's
Never.
the moral. That's the moral of this story. Do not get rid of that truck.
No.
You'll regret it for the rest of your life.
They are getting so hard to find these days, and if you do, you can find them. Like, don't take that wrong. You can find these any day you go on Marketplace. You're gonna find them. The only problem is they are very expensive, or they're very expensive and beat up.
Oh, very.
Yeah.
This is a whole lot different than my 86 two-wheel drive. I'm telling you that much.
So yeah, if you do get yourself a first gen, hold on to it. You'll regret it the day that you sell it. I trust me. I've had several and I regret it. And here now I'm back again getting one.
I've regretted it. I've had a 79 Wolverine, and those things are very hard to come by.
The Wolverines are very hard to come by.
And I got rid of it. Luckily, I got rid of it to my brother. So it's still in the family.
Yeah.
But it's not mine.
Right.
So, this is my...
There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed us sharing these trucks with you guys. We have big plans for these trucks. Are they going to happen right away? No. So on another time, I will sit down with you guys and I will share with you where my direction is going for Smokey and why I decided to go with a four-wheel drive chassis, because I have very, very, very big plans for Smokey. Well, thanks guys. I hope you enjoyed our fun, crazy little adventure of going and rescuing these trucks.
It never gets old.
It never gets old.
Fun.
We're off-roading on the way back home with loaded trailers.
We've had people, past people on these dirt tracks just going,
Yep.
looking at us crazy.
Right?
Why are they pulling these things across this dirt track? I don't get it.
Well, anyways, thanks for joining us, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notifications so you don't miss any of my videos. And until next time, we'll see you guys out on the trail.